Have you ever wondered what truly matters as you age? What if you could avoid the most common mistakes that can impact your happiness and well-being after turning 60? In this video, we're diving into 8 critical things you need to stop doing if you want to live a healthier, more fulfilling life as you approach your later years. Do you want to know why being overly kind can put you at risk? Or how saving money and focusing on your health now can save you from future regrets? We're not just talking about physical well-being, but also protecting your mental peace and emotional health. Stick around because we're uncovering life-changing insights from ancient wisdom that many overlook, especially the 5th point, which is the most important. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to safeguard your relationships, avoid financial stress, and ensure that your golden years are filled with peace, freedom, and joy. You don't want to miss this. You owe it to yourself and your loved ones. So, watch until the very end to discover how these simple shifts can change the course of your future. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. 1. Don't be overly soft-hearted in real life. In life, it's crucial not to be overly soft-hearted, even if our instinct is to be kind and helpful. Many people find themselves taking on the role of a perpetual Good Samaritan, always saying yes, unable to refuse anyone who asks for help. While this may seem noble, this behavior can often backfire, leading to unnecessary emotional stress, heavy burdens, and even resentment. Worse, it can open the door for opportunists who see kindness not as a virtue, but as a weakness to exploit. Take neighbor Lao Zhang, for instance, a retired man who generously gave his time and resources to help those around him. His heart was pure, and he became the go-to person for everyone in his neighborhood. People praised him and admired his selflessness and his reputation as a kind soul spread far and wide. But sadly, this kindness came with unexpected consequences. One fateful day, Lao Zhang returned home to discover that his house had been broken into and some of his most valuable possessions were stolen. The betrayal that followed cut deeper than the material loss. After a police investigation, the heartbreaking truth emerged. The culprit was a young, unemployed man from the neighborhood, someone whom Lao Zhang had helped on numerous occasions by lending money, without hesitation or condition. Time and time again, Lao Zhang had answered this man's calls for assistance, never questioning his motives, never setting boundaries. His soft-hearted nature made him vulnerable, turning him into an easy target for theft. This painful story serves as a powerful reminder that being overly kind, without discernment, can lead to devastation. Lao Zhang's experience is a lesson for all of us, especially in our later years when we may be more inclined to focus on giving back to others. While kindness is a beautiful and necessary quality, it is equally important to learn how to say no, establish firm boundaries, and refuse unreasonable requests. Protecting your rights, your safety, and your peace of mind should always come first. It's not about becoming hardened or unfeeling, but about recognizing that not everyone will value or reciprocate your generosity. In a world where people may take advantage of goodwill, it's essential to stay vigilant, assertive, and wise. As we age, our energy, time, and resources are even more precious. Guard them fiercely, so that your kindness doesn't become a gateway for exploitation, and your heart remains full without being shattered. 2. Don't be willfully optimistic. In life, one of the most dangerous pitfalls is willful optimism, the kind that blinds you to harsh realities, leaving you vulnerable to heartbreak and disappointment. It's easy to fall into the habit of looking at the world through rose-colored glasses, assuming the best in others no matter how many warning signs appear. This tendency transcends age. Whether young or old, many of us cling to an overly optimistic outlook, convinced that kindness will always be met with gratitude, or that familial bonds will naturally foster love and respect. But the truth is far more complicated and often far more painful. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Take relationships with relatives, for example. No matter how poorly some family members may treat you, whether they ignore your needs, make unreasonable demands, or outright disrespect your boundaries, there's often a natural inclination to be unconditionally kind, to offer forgiveness time and again, and to hope that your goodwill will eventually soften their hearts. You might think that this optimism makes you emotionally rich, that it demonstrates your capacity for love and resilience. But the harsh reality is that such unchecked optimism can lead to deeper wounds. The result of this endless giving? More often than not, it paves the way for exploitation and betrayal. You become an easy target for those who don't value your efforts, who take your kindness for granted, or worse, who disregard your feelings entirely. Optimism, in its pure form, can be beautiful. It allows us to dream, to strive for better, to believe in the goodness of the world. But when optimism becomes willful, when it ignores the darker sides of human nature, it can be damaging. It sends a message to others that your boundaries don't matter, that your emotions are secondary, and that no matter what they do, you will always be there, forgiving and optimistic, ready to accept their poor treatment. This not only erodes your self-worth, but also encourages others to continue exploiting you, knowing that there will be no real consequences. It's important to strike a balance between hope and realism. Yes, keep your heart open. And yes, believe in the possibility of change, but don't allow blind optimism to override your sense of self-preservation. Life is not always fair, and people, even family members, will not always act in your best interest. Learn to recognize when your optimism is becoming self-destructive, when it's shielding you from seeing the truth that's right in front of you. You deserve to be treated with respect, and that starts with demanding it from those around you. Protect yourself from the harsh lessons that come with misplaced optimism. Be hopeful, but also be wise. Know when to draw the line, when to stop giving to those who only take, and when to shift your energy toward those who truly value your kindness. Optimism should not come at the cost of your well-being. 3. Don't become too obsessed with socializing. In life, it's easy to become consumed by the desire to socialize, to surround ourselves with people in the hopes of feeling connected and fulfilled. Yet, in this pursuit, we often forget a simple truth. True confidants are incredibly rare. Though we may cross paths with countless individuals throughout our lives, the number of people we can truly understand, trust, and rely on is but a small fraction. Socializing may seem like a natural and necessary part of our journey, but it's important not to lose ourselves in the endless chase for connection. Friendships, while beautiful, can sometimes be fleeting or superficial. As we move through life, it becomes more apparent that not every relationship is built to last. Some friendships dissolve as quickly as they form. Their foundation is shaky, lacking the emotional depth or shared values needed to stand the test of time. Others may persist, but with little in the way of true understanding or genuine connection. These are the friendships that can leave us feeling lonely, even in the company of others. Relationships that might fill our social calendars but not our hearts. As we grow older, this realization hits even harder. We begin to see that quality matters far more than quantity. In our later years, we gain the wisdom to recognize that time is precious, and who we choose to spend it should reflect our deepest values and desires. It's in these years that we must become more discerning and more cautious about who we allow into our inner circle. Drawing on our life experiences and the lessons learned from past relationships, we must strive to form friendships that are built on mutual respect, shared experiences, and emotional connection. This doesn't mean closing ourselves off to new relationships or becoming cynical about people, but rather, it's about recognizing the importance of protecting our emotional energy. The friends we keep should uplift us, bring joy, and contribute to our well-being, not drain us or create negativity. By carefully selecting those we choose to invest our time and trust in, we preserve our emotional peace and surround ourselves with the kind of relationships that enrich rather than deplete our lives. As we age, we also need to understand that the relationships worth cherishing are those that stand the test of time, built on a foundation of honesty, loyalty, and understanding. These are the friendships that bring true comfort, the ones where words aren't always necessary to convey deep understanding, where support is unwavering, and where trust is never questioned. In these rare but precious bonds, we find the emotional sustenance that gives life its richness. So, while socializing is a natural part of life, don't become overly obsessed with it. Don't allow the desire for connection to cloud your judgment or lead you into relationships that do more harm than good. It's far better to have a few genuine, meaningful friendships than to fill your life with empty interactions. Cherish the real connections. Hold on to the people who truly matter and let go of those who don't. In the end, the quality of our relationships is what brings the most profound joy and fulfillment. 4. Don't neglect saving money. Never underestimate the importance of saving money, no matter what stage of life you're in. This principle holds for everyone, but it becomes especially vital as we age. Money, in many ways, is the foundation of stability and confidence, particularly after retirement. It's not just about material wealth, but about the sense of security and peace of mind that comes with knowing you're financially prepared for whatever life may throw your way. In our later years, savings are more than just a financial cushion. They are a source of independence and respect. Children, while they may love and care for us, often show more respect when they see that we are financially self-reliant. Financial freedom allows you to maintain control over your life and to make decisions without feeling like a burden to anyone else. It gives you the power to live on your terms, to take care of your needs, and to face the future with confidence. Without a solid financial foundation, you may find yourself living in constant anxiety, always worrying about what might happen if an unexpected expense arises. One of the harshest realities of aging is the increasing likelihood of health problems. A sudden illness or accident could send you rushing to the hospital, where the cost of medical treatment can quickly eat away at your savings. And if those savings are insufficient, the stress only multiplies. It's heartbreaking to think that many people, out of fear of high medical costs, hesitate to seek help for minor ailments. Yet, neglecting these small issues could lead to far more serious health problems down the line. What starts as a manageable condition can escalate into something life-threatening, draining both your finances and your physical well-being. This is why saving money is about more than financial security. It's about protecting your health and your quality of life. Without the means to afford proper medical care, even minor health concerns can snowball, robbing you of your vitality and your ability to enjoy life's simplest pleasures. And when health deteriorates, everything else becomes meaningless. All the experiences, all the dreams you still want to pursue, can be taken away in an instant if you're not able to afford the care you need. Life is precious, and your well-being should be one of your highest priorities. By saving money now, you're not just preparing for financial emergencies, but ensuring that when illness strikes, you can get the treatment you need promptly without hesitation. You're preserving your ability to live fully, to enjoy the beauty of life without the looming fear of financial ruin. Don't neglect this fundamental truth. Money may not buy happiness, but it certainly buys peace of mind and the ability to face life's challenges with strength. So, whether you're just starting out or already in your golden years, take saving seriously. Build a safety net that allows you to live with dignity, to care for your health, and to embrace the future with confidence. In doing so, you're not just safeguarding your financial freedom, but your ability to truly savor and appreciate the beauty and joy that life has to offer. 5. Don't underestimate the importance of health. The reasons behind the growing reluctance to visit others, particularly among the elderly, are rooted in several key aspects, all centered around the idea that visiting can sometimes become more of a disturbance than a pleasant interaction. As we grow older, each family's dynamics and circumstances change significantly, and not everyone within a household may feel comfortable or enthusiastic about visitors. What might seem like a warm, friendly gesture, such as an invitation to visit, could in reality cause discomfort or even friction within the family. Take Uncle Ma from next door, for example. He has an admitted carefree attitude and rarely overthinks things. One day, while walking in his community, he encountered a high school classmate he hadn't seen in years. Overjoyed at this unexpected reunion, Uncle Ma was thrilled when his old friend invited him over for a meal and drinks. Given Uncle Ma's love of drinking and his lack of regular drinking companions, this invitation felt like a dream come true. It allowed him to socialize and enjoy the company of a friend from his youth. Weekends became his favorite time of the week, as he eagerly brought a few dishes to his friend's house for their drinking sessions. However, it didn't take long for Uncle Ma to notice the strained expression on his friend's wife's face each time he visited. Unfazed, he continued these weekend get-togethers, believing his presence was always welcomed. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. After several visits, however, his classmate finally spoke up, explaining that while he enjoyed Uncle Ma's company, his wife and children were not so enthusiastic. They felt that Uncle Ma's frequent visits had become an intrusion on their personal space, disturbing the harmony of their household. It was only then that Uncle Ma realized the initial invitation had been more of a polite gesture than a true, open-ended welcome. His frequent visits, once a source of joy for him, had unintentionally disrupted his friend's family life, highlighting how even well-intentioned socializing can lead to discomfort when boundaries are not respected. This story reveals a hard truth about aging. Frequent social visits can lead to trouble, especially when there's a lack of meaningful activities or hobbies. Many elderly individuals, like Uncle Ma, often find themselves with plenty of free time but no one to share it with. As a result, visiting neighbors or old friends can seem like the perfect way to pass the time. However, while these interactions may appear to enrich their days, frequent visits can lead to misunderstandings, conflict, and unwanted drama. With too many conversations, there's always a risk that something said innocently might be taken out of context, causing unnecessary disputes that could have been avoided altogether. Miss Wong, who lives upstairs, shares a similar sentiment. After retirement, she found joy in dancing in the square with other elderly women from the community, but she learned the hard way that visiting others' homes wasn't always a good idea. When it rained, the group would take turns gathering in each other's homes, spending the day chatting and sharing meals. It all seemed innocent until one day, the conversation drifted toward the topic of daughters-in-law. Miss Wong casually remarked that her daughter-in-law, who had grown up as an only child, was somewhat spoiled and lacked initiative at home. She didn't mean it maliciously, but her comment eventually made its way back to her daughter-in-law, sparking anger and resentment. This simple, offhand remark caused an enormous rift between Miss Wong and her daughter-in-law, who began to treat her coldly. Miss Wong's son even scolded her for gossiping, leaving her feeling hurt and misunderstood. What started as a harmless conversation had escalated into a family conflict, simply because too many words had been said in the wrong place. Miss Wong came to realize that visiting others, while enjoyable on the surface, could sometimes lead to deep-seated issues. As a result, she now prefers to keep her distance, limiting her interactions to dancing and other light activities. She has learned that it's better to avoid discussing personal matters, as too much familiarity can breed unnecessary drama. Both Uncle Ma's and Miss Wong's experiences serve as cautionary tales about the complexities of socializing in old age. While it's natural to seek companionship and connection, it's equally important to be mindful of boundaries, both in our own lives and in the lives of others. Excessive visits can strain relationships, while casual remarks can lead to unintended consequences. In our later years, it's essential to strike a balance between staying connected and respecting the personal space and feelings of those around us. Sometimes, the best way to maintain harmony is to keep interactions light, avoid sensitive topics, and remember that not every invitation is a true call for frequent visits. 6. Don't lose your temper with family members. As we grow older, one of the most important lessons to embrace is the need to maintain emotional balance, especially within the family. Losing your temper with family members is something that can happen easily, but as we age, it becomes crucial to manage our emotions more thoughtfully. Some elderly individuals, feeling entitled by their status or years of experience, may become overly critical or domineering towards their children and grandchildren, dictating how they should live their lives. This can quickly lead to tension and discord within the family, creating a toxic atmosphere that undermines the very bonds we hold most dear. While it's natural to want to guide and protect our loved ones, especially those younger than us, it's equally important to recognize that unsolicited criticism or harsh words often have the opposite effect of what we intend. Instead of fostering closeness, these actions can drive family members away, leaving everyone feeling frustrated and misunderstood. The family unit, which should be a source of comfort and support, can instead become a battleground for hurt feelings and resentment. To live a more harmonious and joyful life, especially in our later years, it's vital to soften our approach. This doesn't mean giving up our values or opinions, but rather learning to express them in a way that builds understanding rather than creates division. Patience, empathy, and open communication are the keys to strengthening family bonds. Instead of immediately reacting with anger or frustration, take a moment to consider the other person's perspective. Understand that your children and grandchildren are living in a different world with different challenges, and they may not always see things the same way you do. One of the most profound gifts we can give our family is the gift of understanding. By tempering our temper and choosing compassion over criticism, we create a more loving and supportive environment. When family members feel heard, valued, and respected, they are more likely to respond with the same kindness and consideration. This mutual respect helps to maintain harmony within the family, allowing relationships to flourish and grow stronger. Moreover, holding on to anger or frustration only adds to your own stress and emotional burden. It's exhausting to constantly be in a state of tension with the people you love. Letting go of the need to control or dictate every aspect of your family's lives can be incredibly liberating. By allowing your loved ones the freedom to make their own choices, while offering support and guidance when needed, you give both yourself and them the space to enjoy a more peaceful and fulfilling relationship. Remember, family is one of life's greatest treasures. Don't let fleeting moments of frustration or anger tarnish the precious bonds you've spent years building. Your family will be much more harmonious when you approach them with patience, understanding, and a calm heart. In the end, it's not about always being right or having your way. It's about creating a home filled with love, respect, and joy. The more you temper your temper, the more you'll find that happiness follows. 7. Don't worry excessively about descendants. There is an age-old saying that children and grandchildren have their blessings, and it holds profound wisdom, especially as we enter our later years. It's natural for parents and grandparents to care deeply about the well-being of their descendants, but it's important not to become consumed by excessive worry or sacrifice ourselves for them as though we were beasts of burden. No matter how much we love them, our children and grandchildren will walk their paths, face their challenges, and create their own stories. Their lives will unfold in ways that are often unpredictable. And while our guidance can be valuable, our over-involvement can sometimes hinder their growth rather than help. When we constantly worry or try to shield our descendants from every hardship, we unknowingly take away valuable opportunities for them to learn, grow, and build resilience. Life, by its very nature, is full of ups and downs, and it is through overcoming these challenges that character is shaped and strength is forged. Excessive interference, no matter how well-intentioned, can stifle their independence and prevent them from developing the skills they need to navigate the world on their own. It can be difficult to let go, especially when we see our loved ones struggling, but allowing them the space to make their own decisions and even their own mistakes is one of the greatest gifts we can give. By stepping back, we give them the freedom to grow into their potential and discover their strengths. This doesn't mean abandoning them in times of need. Support and love should always be present. But it means trusting that they are capable of finding their way, just as we did when we were younger. As we age, the desire to accumulate blessings for our descendants or leave behind a financial legacy can seem noble. We might believe that providing them with wealth or material comfort will secure their happiness or success. However, what we often overlook is that the most valuable inheritance we can leave them isn't material wealth, but rather the values that shape their character: frugality, self-discipline, hard work, and resilience. Teaching them the importance of responsibility, integrity, and independence will serve them far better in the long run than any fortune ever could. Ultimately, while it's natural to want the best for our children and grandchildren, we must remember that we are also responsible for our own lives. As we grow older, it's essential to focus on planning for our future, ensuring that we have the resources and support we need to live comfortably and with dignity in our later years. We should not sacrifice our well-being out of fear that we haven't done enough for our descendants. Our descendants will create their fortunes, just as we did, and they too will learn from their experiences. By worrying less about them and focusing more on living our lives fully, we set an example of strength and self-assurance that they can carry with them. And in doing so, we ensure that we don't reach the end of our lives filled with regret for not having saved or planned wisely for ourselves. After all, a peaceful, fulfilled elder who has cared for their well-being sets the strongest example for the next generation to follow. So trust in their journey, guide them with wisdom, but ultimately, let them shape their futures, while you shape the rest of your own. 8. Don't overly prioritize relatives. As we age, it's common for our sentimental attachment to relatives to grow stronger. The passage of time often deepens our nostalgia for family, as we reflect on shared memories and the ties that bind us. While it's natural to cherish these connections, it's important to be cautious about placing too much emphasis on them. Overly prioritizing family members can sometimes cloud our judgment, leading to irrational decisions or even making us more vulnerable to exploitation. It's essential to recognize that while blood relations are significant, they do not always guarantee loyalty, support, or understanding. There are times when non-relatives, friends, neighbors, or even acquaintances prove to be more dependable and trustworthy than some family members. Overvaluing familial bonds can sometimes set us up for disappointment. Relationships that we expect to last a lifetime may falter, revealing that some family connections cannot withstand the test of time. Whether due to differing values, personal conflicts, or simply the drifting apart that occurs naturally in life, not all family ties are as solid as we might hope. This doesn't mean we should abandon our families or stop caring for them, but rather, we should approach these relationships with a balanced perspective, understanding that they are important, but not infallible. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In the fleeting moments of life, it's crucial to cherish the present, to live fully in the now, and to invest time in our personal growth and development. Too often, people sacrifice their dreams, passions, and opportunities for the sake of family, only to find themselves feeling unfulfilled later on. Life, especially in our younger years, is like an unfinished painting, waiting for us to fill it with the vibrant colors of diligence, effort, and wisdom. By focusing on building our strengths, whether through education, health, or character, we create a solid foundation for the future. These assets not only enrich our lives, but also prepare us to explore new horizons, make meaningful friendships, and pursue dreams that perhaps were left on hold. As we get older, these investments in ourselves become even more critical. If we spend our youth accumulating knowledge, maintaining our health, and cultivating a strong sense of self, we carry these treasures with us into old age, lighting the path forward. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, traveling, deepening friendships, or simply enjoying the peace that comes from a life well lived, the possibilities for growth and fulfillment remain endless if we've laid the groundwork in earlier years. Therefore, if you want to live an extraordinary life after the age of 60, it's vital to recognize that some things, like overly prioritizing relatives, can hold you back. Let go of unnecessary emotional weight. Focus on what brings true joy and fulfillment, and stop engaging in habits that drain your energy. The quality of your later years is shaped by the choices you make today. So, as today's reflections draw to a close, remember this: you are never truly alone on this journey. Whether surrounded by family, friends, or simply the wisdom of your own experiences, you have the strength and resilience to live a life of purpose and joy. Keep moving forward with confidence, embracing every new chapter with an open heart. As we wrap up today's important reflections, let's take a moment to consider what we've learned so far. Life after 60 offers an incredible opportunity to enrich our lives with wisdom, personal growth, and fulfilling relationships. But it also comes with its unique challenges. By embracing these key insights, whether it's managing our emotions, finding balance in family ties, or investing in our health and personal development, we can ensure that the later years are our most fulfilling ones. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you'll bring into practice in your own life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you plan to apply these ideas moving forward. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue sharing valuable content to enrich your life. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.